Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, on this Veterans Day, edition of the program. Do want to mention there's a lot of great content over there at usdailyreview.com, remembering veterans, including some stuff on the job status of veterans and much, much more. So remember a veteran by checking out that content, usdailyreview.com. Maybe you want to share some of those articles with veterans, but make sure you tell a veteran hello and wish them a great day and thank them for their sacrifice and their service. Tom Teynor is with us. He's with a company called Colorado. I like the name of that company, and they are kind of industry leaders in new technologies for cooling. And welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here.
Yeah, kind of tell us the elevator speech, if you will, about your company.
Sure. Well, it's very short. We make a innovative air conditioner that can save 90% of the energy cost of a normal traditional air conditioning system.
Yeah, and that just sounds amazing to me. And this is not like a window unit. This is something that for your entire house.
Yeah, and actually we focus in on commercial and manufacturers. They've got the highest heat load demands, and they find our technology to be quite attractive. If you're trying to cool millions of square feet of space, you're trying to produce a number of air changes an hour in, say, a hospital setting, or keep a manufacturing facility operational and from going down to overheating, our technology is really ideal in those settings.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. How does it do it? How do you cut 90%? That's just unbelievable.
Well, we use a process of air conditioning called indirect evaporative cooling. It's a technology that's been around literally for thousands of years, used by many civilizations. And we use the M cycle, which was discovered and invented by our chief scientist, Dr. Valery Mysasenko. He discovered this in the Ukraine, working as a scientist before he defected to the United States. And what he discovered is really a breakthrough. He took this technology that's been around forever, shrunk it down into a size smaller than folks thought possible, and allowed us to commercially produce this. And it actually provides air temperatures that are lower than most scientists and engineers thought possible.
Okay, so when I was in Abilene, Texas, we had evaporative coolers in our walls because Abilene stays kind of dry, so you can do that kind of thing. But They were always considered inferior to air conditioners.
I'm sorry, Kevin, could you say
they were always considered inferior to air conditioners, and they couldn't hold up in an environment like Houston, is what we were told. We would never buy an evaporative cooler, for example, in Houston. So how is this different from my evaporative cooler that I grew up with in Abilene?
Sure. The big difference is this. We don't add any humidity into the air. We essentially offer evaporative cooling operating prices. In other words, we can cool air very inexpensively, but we provide air conditioner quality air. And so in a more humid environment, we would generally work in concert with traditional air conditioning. So if there was some dehumidification needed, we could provide that. But because we're not adding humidification, any water into the air in the environment, much like your evaporative cooling technology you referenced, we're able to be deployed much more broadly, and our uses are certainly, we can be used in a lot more building types.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so, and obviously the old systems that we used in Abilene did not do that. And then the big plus for those, and in Abilene, they were throughout West Texas, they were very common. I was told they were common in West Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, very, very common. They worked pretty well in those environments at a much cheaper cost.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we've deployed in over 24 countries. So the technology's scope geographically, can be deployed in beyond just, say, a really, really dry environment. Maybe connected with some traditional cooling, but the ability to save as much as 90% normally gets folks' attention. And as you move into a more humid environment, the savings may come down a bit. But if you're running a data center in New York City and you have high electricity prices, you're worried about peak demand where you need to maintain cooling to the space, Colorado could be a great solution in providing cooling at a price that they didn't think possible.
So in a place like Houston, which is where this show's from, what kind of savings do you think is realistic?
Well, that's really a tough question to answer, Kevin. I think that it's going to be in a range somewhere between, say, 30 and 60%, depending on your application, how it's deployed, that type of thing. In more humid environments, such as Houston along the Gulf Coast, our technology, is definitely going to have some challenges. But there's no doubt that we provide a lot of outdoor air. That's one of the other benefits of this technology. If you've got a need to be cooling outdoor air, bringing it into the space, really no one does it cheaper than our technology.
Since my kids are incapable of closing doors to our house, I'm assuming that they think we do have a responsibility to cool outdoor air. But anyway, but other than that, we don't do a whole lot. In Houston, we go from our car to our building, to our building to our car. And only really mentally deranged people are actually running and exercising out there. But I do see a few of them. So are you selling in Houston?
That's not our primary target market today. We are all, we sell throughout West Texas, especially, and throughout the Mountain West. We're moving into the Northeast, and then, as I mentioned, we are, in 26, selling to 26 different countries. So, our technology, we're actually a net exporter at the end of the day. So,
a net exporter.
Yeah, in other words, we sell more product internationally than we do domestically.
Oh, that doesn't happen too often. That's always nice.
Yeah, and so we believe that really helping the U.S. economy, we're creating jobs. I mean, that's a big component to our organization overall. And the savings that our customers are seeing is translating into American jobs, and that's great. The product's 100% made in the United States, which is also a benefit. And we're real excited about the growth trajectory of the company.
And what part of Colorado are you in, Tom?
We are right in Denver.
Right in Denver. Beautiful city. Tom Teynor is with a company called Coolerado. Coolerado. Coolerado.com. Thanks for being with us, telling us your story.
Thanks a lot. It was great to be with you.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you doing. Oh, actually, when we come back, it'll be Tuesday when we come back. When we'll definitely have much more for you. I do want to remind you, though, the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, where we like to say the show never ends. Check it out there. Like it on Facebook. Follow it on Twitter. See you tomorrow.